5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
The Ramble. Yeah, it goes until midnight tonight on the East Coast of the United States. Let's go out to California. That's where we check in with Larry Bubbles Brown about once a week. Hi, Larry.
Hey, Alex.
What's happening, Larry?
The Oracle of the West Coast. Well, it's drizzly out here, as you would expect in January.
Yeah, well, we're doing this not when they're listening to it, but excuse me, I am sneezing.
You're cutting out.
No, I'm sneezing. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I was sneezing. That's why it sounded like I was cutting out.
Although you used the old cough button.
No, I didn't use the cough button. I should have. I don't have a cough button. I have a slider switch that I can turn down while I'm sneezing, but then you'd say, "Where did you go, Alex?" So, you know.
I'll tell you what's going on out here. People are going insane because of the Super Bowl, which San Francisco is in, which is the... Someone said that was the biggest hyped thing ever invented by man, the Super Bowl. I tend to agree.
I agree, too. You know, I remember the only thing the Super Bowl ever did for me is I got on the Today Show because I was the guy. They came to me and they said, we hear you're not going to watch the Super Bowl. This was when it was in, I think it was it at Stanford or someplace like that?
That was 85.
Yeah. And I said, that's right. And they said, can we come out and interview you? So I said, okay. So they came to the station, and they interview me, and they say, you're the only guy we know in San Francisco who's not going to watch the Super Bowl. I said, he said, why is that? And I said, because I really don't know how the game is played, and I don't give a hoot about football. And they said, well, are there any advantages to that? And I said, yeah, I can have sex with all the wives whose husbands are watching the game.
You cleaned up.
I cleaned it up, but I can't remember if it ever got on. All right. So, anyway, that was my little Super Bowl story. I don't really give a shit about the Super Bowl. Do you?
Football is like the only sport I can watch without being bored to death anymore. But I don't care about the Super Bowl. No, it's just another game. And
when is the Super Bowl?
It's this Sunday.
This Sunday, which will have already passed when we run this.
Okay, and it's what I read is it $3 million for a 30-second commercial?
Yeah, but you know, who gives a hoot? You know.
Yeah,
it's because they call it the Super Bowl. It gets the whole. Well, anyway, no need to talk about this because this is. Well, maybe I'll just play this week and save the one we did last time.
You could do that.
Yeah, I will do this because it talks. It's more current. Okay.
They're actually talking about making the Monday after the Super Bowl a national holiday because so many people call in sick now.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Who gives a good goddamn? And then there's, you know what? I got to say something. This is not going to be particularly popular. This whole Kobe Bryant deal. All of a sudden, he's being lionized. And a few years ago, he was being charged with rape. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Did it go to trial or did he settle? Something happened. I don't even remember.
Something happened, and then he bought his wife the biggest diamond you've ever seen. I mean,
remember that.
The next time she was on TV, she had this like diamond that was like, you know, eating away at her finger. It was so big, you know. And I guess that's how he kept his marriage together. And they say in the ensuing years he became a much nicer guy, you know. But that doesn't mitigate the fact that, you know, he was taken. It wasn't just he that died in that plane, in that helicopter crash, was also, I think, 3 students of his daughters and his daughter who died in that crash, and a couple of the parents. And it was his helicopter. And I'm sure he said to the pilot, well, I don't care what the weather's going to be like ahead. Take off. They say it was really clear where they took off, but you had to know just by asking there was some fog ahead.
Yeah, a lot of helicopters didn't go up that day is what I'd heard.
Yeah. So, I mean, big hero? You know, I mean, if he didn't have the goddamn helicopter and make it take off, and maybe it shouldn't have taken off, those kids might be alive today. I feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for him. Hell, he had a great life, all 41 years of it, you know. But it's just, you know, I don't know. I guess I don't get the lionization of people in sports. You know, every day people die in this country, and nobody knows who the hell they are. And they're just really nice people who did nothing but try and raise a family and be a good parent and, you know, be good to their friends or whatever. And nobody goes and mourns them except for a few people who go to the funeral and drop dirt on his grave. So I just don't get the lionization of sports guys.
Well, I think it's our society. If you're in sports or entertainment, you get lionized.
Yeah.
And sports is just entertainment.
Sports is entertainment,
yeah.
And I don't know why we can't come to that decision. You know, every night on the 6 o'clock, the local news, what do they end with? Sports report. My question is, what the fuck does that have to do with news?
Yeah, exactly.
Has nothing to do with news. And yet they report it, you know? So, anyway. So, how's your health been?
I think I'm all right.
You think you're all right?
There's always at this age, there's always something that hurts or something. The hernia is definitely not getting better. I think I talked to the surgeon last week, and I think we're actually going to do it. But
yeah, what is it hurting?
It's hurting, yeah.
Oh, mine doesn't hurt. Mine's just big, you know, but it doesn't really hurt at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just bulgy. That's all. You know, and it gurgles every now and then at me.
Yeah, you get that gurgling sound. That's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's because of your stomach. You know,
Yeah.
it's part of your intestine. But I guess if there's no pain, you don't do anything about it. You know, so.
That's the standard of medicine now. If it's not bothering you, they prefer not to do the surgery.
Yeah, well, because it's not a pleasant thing, from what I hear. You know.
No, although I guess it used to be up until the 60s, hernia surgery required like 2 months of bed rest. It took forever to recover.
But here you recover fairly well immediately, but there's still, I think there's pain, and I don't know, they haven't perfected it yet. You know?
No, and there's a lot of nerves down there. So
yeah, see, here's what old people do when they get together now.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember. I think it was my ex-wife Ronnie who called it an organ recital. You know, and it really is. I mean, people get together, old people get together, you know, so what's new with you? Well, I've got the hernia. I know, I want to know what's new with you. Like, did you go anywhere? I didn't know I got a hernia, though. You know. I mean, when I asked you what else is new, and you said the hernia. You know, I didn't have to even say what in your health is bothering you. Let's see. I've got the neuropathy, which is actually it gives me more trouble than the hernia does. There's of course my prostate cancer. I've got cancer.
Oh, that's right. You're going through that.
Yeah, I'm going through that. Well, that is like driving me crazy. Now, I realize, everybody, and Bubs, that what I've got is quite manageable, okay? that when I say to people I've got cancer, they go, "Oh my God, you've got cancer!" Because they all go apoplectic when you say you've got cancer. But then they say, "What kind?" And you go, "Prostate." They go, "Oh, that."
No.
Because people my age get that. And then they have the stuff you got to do for it. And then they live till something else kills them. All right?
Right.
My problem is getting operated on, is getting the work done. I'm supposed to have 5 courses of radiation, okay? And then they're going to do a seed implant. So I'm supposed to go yesterday. I went yesterday for my first radiation treatment, and I'm kind of looking forward to it because I've always been a science fiction fan, and the idea of this thing whirling around while I'm in a room all alone, going meh, meh, and finding where the places are because it's all been pre-programmed by robotics, seems like a lot of fun, at least when it comes to living science fiction. So I go over there and I say, "I'm here." And they go, "Who are you?" And I said, "Bennett Schwarzman." And they look me up and they go, "We have you down for 4 o'clock. But wait a minute, we don't have you down at all. Let me call the woman here who deals with this." So she comes back and she comes out. Very nice woman. I think she was from Ireland. She had an Irish brogue. And she said, "Didn't somebody call you?" I said, "About what? About canceling Monday?" I said, "No." I said, "Somebody called me on Friday wanting me to sign a paper and fax it back to them that would give them permission to have my pathology slides." These are the actual tissue that they got, they came up with the Gleason 7 rating or whatever with. And I said, "Why?" And they said, "Oh, well, we just like to have them here." I said, I have this thing on Monday. That doesn't change that, does it?" She said, "Well, you'll have to talk to them." So she didn't tell me, "No, it's been canceled." She just said, "Sign this paper so we can get the slides." So so this woman says to me, "Let's go up and talk to your doctor." So we went up and saw my doctor. He came in. And he says, "Oh, nobody called you?" And this is about the second time I've had problems with their office not communicating, okay? And I said, "No, nobody called me." I said, "I did all the prep for it. I did the milk of magnesia the night before, which it's only a tablespoon of milk of magnesia. But milk of magnesia, even a tablespoon, tastes horrible. It's just ghastly. But anyway, you take it and you sip it, and that's it. Wash it down with some Snapple or something like that. And then the next morning, I have to give myself a fleet enema before I go down there, and then I shit my brains out for about a half hour. All right? Yes. So I went through all of that. Then I take a cab over, and only to be told it's not going to happen today. I said, "Why?" He said, "We have to get the pathology slides, the tissue slides." I said, "What for?" I said, "You gave me a call about it the other day, but the impression I got was you just wanted them for the sake of having them in office, right?" Because another pathology lab outside of Mount Sinai did this. He said, "No, we have to get the slides, and then our local pathologist has to analyze them to make sure they were correct in their assessment of its severity." Because we had a case here once where somebody came in and we gave him all the radiation, and then it turned out that he was a Gleason 8, which is very high, and they found out he was just a Gleason 6, which we would just wait and watch. And I said, "Oh, well, I can understand that, but why didn't you do this 2 weeks ago? Yeah. Why didn't you do this before you put me under and stuck gold posts in my prostate and a separator between my prostate and my rectum? And why is it that you didn't tell me this and you didn't do this when I was doing the simulation for the whole thing, for the process, for the radiation?" I said, you didn't let me know. You could have let me know. He said, well, I told somebody to do it. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, and when you didn't see him in a couple of days, did you question where are they? I mean, I wasn't this way with him because he's my doctor, and when a guy puts his hand up your asses in doing surgery, you really don't want to piss him off, okay? He was very apologetic, but I'm thinking, these are the people who are working on saving my life, and they get it wrong. And, what's happening is the hospitals are all practicing defensive medicine, which is bullshit. It just is so defensive that you could die before they make sure they can work on you. It's really pathetic. It's really pathetic.
Inexcusable, a kind of lack of communication.
And I'd say to the doctor, well, look, fuck you. This is inaccuracy on the part of your office. You're dealing with my life, and I really don't want to deal with you. That's what I really wanted to say. But then that leaves me out in the cold with a prostate that needs working on. So then I would have to go down to some place like Sloan Kettering all the way downtown and go through this whole process again, and who knows if I'm not going to get another doctor who doesn't watch out for his patients. So, I may go get a second opinion on whether I need the seeds or not on top of this, but it's just, the inefficiency is what gets to me. The fact that it put me out, and that I was looking forward to this to get this over and done with, and now it's all hanging in the balance. And they're supposed to call me today and let me know what's happening with the slides, and it's 3:20 in the afternoon already, and I haven't heard from them. So, I mean, and I said to him, waiting like this isn't going to make the cancer get worse, is it? And he said, no. Because it is, even if it's aggressive, it's slow growing, but I want to get when you set your mind to something, like let's say they're going to give you the hernia operation, and you get yourself ready for it, and it's not going to be pleasant afterwards, and you've got it all set up in your mind, and you go and you get the hernia operation, and they say, oh, I'm sorry, we can't hold it today because we didn't get some paper on you or something.
Yeah.
Well, then you really get pissed because it's not that you're amped up for it, you're prepared for it. And now you got to prepare yourself again.
It's like getting bumped on Letterman.
It's like getting bumped on Letterman. Did you get bumped on Letterman once?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. What, the first time or the second time?
First time.
First time. But they said come back, right?
Yeah, and you still get paid, so it's not a total wash.
But then you did the second one, and they paid you.
Yeah.
So you got paid twice.
There was some comic that got bumped like 5 times in a row on Letterman. And
each time he got a check, huh?
He got a check, though.
Yeah, wow. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's a little better than missing a surgery. But
yeah, but I wish, what gets me is that I had all this stuff done as prep for the radiation.
Yeah, you were ready after milk and magnesia.
They went ahead before they did any of that, to do the operation where they put me out and stuff. Before that, they called my insurance and made sure that it was covered. They had to get permission from my insurance company. They did that first thing before they even touched me with anything. And yet, they should know the second thing they got to do is get these pathology slides. Just pathetic. Pathetic. So I'm I'm pissed. I'm really pissed. But what am I going to do about it? Stick my finger up my ass and yank those cancers out by my hand,
Well, too bad you can't sue them.
Look, I've been wanting to ask him a question, but I haven't asked him, and that is, if I do nothing, how long will this take to kill me, and will it? And I bet his answer is going to be, well, we really don't know. And that's probably the case. They really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing I have to ask you, because you're getting older. You're how old now? You're
Just pushing 70.
pushing 70. Do these things start to really piss you off? Or I feel like an old man griping about this stuff. Oh, take it. It's no problem, Alex. Don't worry about it, But I'm pissed off. Am I right to be pissed off, or is that just old age?
It's old age, but you're right. I'm pissed off, yeah.
Yeah. So,
You just feel like there's a constant assault on you.
The constant assault?
Yeah.
What did they say about your hernia operation? Did they tell you what it was all about and what they were going to do when they do it?
Oh, yeah. She was very thorough about it. Great surgeon. So,
what is she going to... We don't know if they're great surgeons. We really don't. We hope they are.
Well, she had a great manner, I'll say
because
that.
Because my ex-wife, Ronnie, said to me the other day when I told her I've got probably one of the best oncologists in New York, she says, everybody thinks their doctor is the best doctor. I heard they were the best doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But what did she tell you that would entail?
Let's see, I'd be out of the hospital the same day.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to drive myself home.
Right, because you're under anesthetic. Okay, go ahead.
I don't think I'll be able to run for a month, but they definitely want you up and walking the next day, and walk as much as you can.
Yeah. Yeah, but did she tell you that there would be any pain associated with it?
She said there could be pain. You can get Vicodin or whatever they have these days, which I don't like. But she said some people get through it. They don't have to use any pain pills at all. So.
Yeah. Well, that will be the last thing on my list. Today I went to the dentist and I got a filling, but then I was told the tooth next to it, the crown is falling apart, which I know, and that it needs to be fixed because otherwise the tooth next to it will get decay again. So, all right. And then she's saying you got another one that needs to be replaced on the bottom on the other side. So this is $1,000 it's going to be out of my pocket when I'm through. But,
there's no good dental insurance.
But the thing is, I originally went into this dentist to get an implant put in, right? And then she said, well, we just took x-rays of your teeth, and this tooth needs to be fixed, and that tooth needs to be fixed, and this tooth needs to be fixed. And by the time they were through, they used up any money that my insurance would have paid for the implant. Okay. But we were close to the end of the year, so I said, I'll just come in next year, and we'll get this done. I come in, and they clean my teeth, and I said, any problems? And I said, well, I got this tooth back here that when I press on it a couple of days ago, I felt like something was stuck in there. And she went back and looked, and she said, oh, that's a filling that's falling out. We gotta fill that. So she went and she filled that. She said it might need a root canal, but it didn't. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So she does the filling. Then she says, but we got to do something about the crown next to it. And by the way, the crown on the bottom is really falling apart. It has some decay. We may have to just pull the tooth if it's too decayed because it's a root canal already. And I'm thinking to myself, God, I think every time they look at my mouth, they have an adding machine in their head.
Yeah.
It's going ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. And granted, I have great insurance. I have great medical insurance, and it's going to take care of all of this stuff. But by the time I'm through this, I won't have enough money left this year to do the implant. So I'm just going to have a hole in my mouth again for another year. And the original thing that I went into her for, we haven't even gotten to. So, am I an old man? Do I sound like an old man griping? Because if I am, fuck all of y'all.
I think we both do. But that's why old men are grumpy, because they're in pain most of the time. That's why they're grumpy.
You know something? I said that you're absolutely right. I said that to Marjorie one day. I said, I finally figured out why old people are grouchy. Because they're in pain.
Yeah.
And it's not many times profound pain. I have this neuropathy, and I'm in pain constantly with the neuropathy.
Constant annoyance, yeah.
But it's annoying. It's not like really horrible. okay? It's just annoying pain. So, I mean, you get tired of that. You get really tired of that.
Oh, yeah.
You know. So folks, feel sorry for Bubs and I. And,
the Crank brothers.
yeah, and I'll go take care of my cancer. He'll take care of his hernia. I have two of them, actually, one on each side. They're matching. Only one's bigger than the other. But it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt me. So
that's great. It doesn't hurt. Mine just,
Yeah.
It didn't hurt for a while, but
yeah. Well, I'm sure mine will get to hurt. I just want to make sure that I get the cancer taken care of before I have to take care of the hernia. That's all I care about. Yeah. But anyway, there we go again. Another 25.
On another happy note.
Another 25 happy minutes spent with Bubs.
And our message today: boycott the Super Bowl.
Boycott the Super Bowl, because who gives a fuck about it? Everybody watched the Emmys, even though they knew it was phony. And everybody watches the Golden Globes because they don't realize that it's 89 waiters in Los Angeles who vote for it.
Mm-hmm.
All these award shows are phony fucks. Even mine, the SAG-AFTRA this year, was pathetic. Just pathetic.
They keep getting worse and worse.
Yeah. I don't know why I vote, but I get the screeners, so I guess I figure I should vote. And hey, listen, we've run way out of time. And you know how I enjoy talking to you, and I want to thank you very much.
Man. Well, don't let the doctor miscommunicate again. That's really irritating.
Yeah. Is the album out yet?
The album is out March 3rd.
March 3rd. It's out March 3rd.
My 39th anniversary of comedy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we at that time we will plug it and tell everybody where they can get it, because it's bound to be hilarious, because you are. Ladies and gentlemen, we have spent how much time here? Wow, 26 and a half minutes with Larry Bubbles Brown. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Alex.
5 years and still talking. This is GABNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And there goes Larry. Oh, thank you so much, Larry. We really enjoy Larry. Don't we enjoy Larry, folks? Hi, everybody. How are you? This is Alex. I'm here. Let me open up the Skype lines. Let's hope everything works tonight. Last night we had problems. It seems Skype has a tendency, as you know, if you use Skype, because that's what we use to talk to people on this program, Skype has a large tendency to upgrade your program and then fuck everything up. And that's what it did. Oh, okay, that was not needed, that sound. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. Here's Charles Wallace already. Charlie, God, you're in here on time. And here comes Kathleen. And let me see here. I've got to start putting you people in place. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I got to find.
Hold on a second.
Hold on for one fucking second. Goddamn fucking. There's Bob Kazoo. And, okay, that's okay. And then I bring, let me see here, Charlie Wallace. He's here. Hold on. Here's Charlie Wallace. And then I do that. And I put them at the very, in the number 1 and 2 spot, 2 and 3 spot, because I'm sure that Phil is going to call, and that's where he was last night. So, we'll save that position for him. Hello, people. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. What's up with you? You've been out of. Actually, you've only missed one night with me, because last week I wasn't on for 3 nights.
Good.
And so you missed me last night. And then I wrote you and I said I was a little worried about where you are. And because I hadn't heard from you any other way either. So.
Nope.
So you've been busy, huh?
Very busy.
Explain very busy. We want to know what's so important that you have to forget us and our little program.
Working and other things, but I have a funny story.
You have a funny story. Okay.
Yeah. So Sunday, at work, I'm 6 feet tall. So when I wear my steel toes, I'm 6'1".
Right. Right.
So at work, I wear my glasses. So I had them clipped. So I go to the bathroom. So in the meantime, when you go to the bathroom, you have to take all this snow gear off.
Yeah.
So I go to the bathroom. I'm taking, I take my snow gear off. I go to the bathroom. I stand up, put all my snow gear back off. I bend over.
Oh, no.
Before you start talking about stripping,
No.
think
No, I bend over to flush the toilet, and I go whoosh. And as I go whoosh, my glasses go kaploosh, and they're gone.
They're gone?
They're fucking gone.
Because usually, I don't know, most, if I drop my glasses in the toilet and then I flushed it, would they, you want me to go try it and see what happens?
No, dude. Alex, they're gone. So I am dying laughing. So I come out of the stall, wash my hands, go into the break room, and I am crying laughing. So my supervisor goes, "What happened?" I go, "Dude, I mean, you know how tall I am. I have my glasses clipped here. I go to flush," and he goes, "Oh my God." And I go, "Yes." So my sister-in-law, who's a manager there, walks in. I tell her the story. She's howling. About a half an hour later, she walks up to me. She goes, "Girl, were you in the third stall?" I go, "Yeah, the one next to the handicap." She goes, "Oh shit, I just dropped a double deuce and it's all plugged up." I go, "Girl, I'm the one that started it." I said, "You are a true Halstead." I drop the glasses going whoosh, you drop a double douche, and the toilet is squadouche.
Oh,
And she
geez.
goes, I told maintenance, they tried to snake it, and she goes, "They're gone." And I said, "Well, I don't want those shitty ass glasses back."
What are they? Are they kind of you get at Costco and you just check them out like these magnifiers?
I get free pair because I have full coverage.
Oh, I see. So are they prescription?
Totally.
Oh, okay. Mine aren't prescription. Mine are, does this one look better?
Right.
They,
But everybody was looking at me and just dying laughing. I was like, "Thank you, that's me." So I'm getting ready to punch out, and I go, "Okay, who was it? Dale, I'm out." And he goes, "Did you see the picture?" And I go, "Oh yeah." So my sister-in-law, she shows me the picture. It's the toilet. There's no water, and there's a wad of toilet paper. And I go, "Bitch, that was you."
wow. Well, they can't be that happy about you at Costco now.
Oh no, they thought it was the funniest thing. I am the most beloved employee.
Yeah, but what really would have been funny if your glasses had flushed themselves back up, as sometimes things do.
Oh, that would have been the best.
And because it was Costco, there'd be two of them taped together. So
Totally.
yeah. Oh boy. Well, anyway, so you've just been working hard, right?
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, what happened with the apartment? Oh shit.
you can't talk about it.
Well, I
order.
can talk peripherally about it, and if you want to give me a call, I'll tell you privately.
I will.
But
Okay.
wait a minute, I'm not
That's
supposed
all
to
it
tell
took.
you even privately. I'm not supposed to discuss this matter with
Okay.
anybody.
It was a gag order.
La la la, I know nothing, but okay.
I don't know if this judge can follow me around when I talk to my friends personally. But anyway,
Anywho.
but the bottom line is, we need another 3 days.
Shit.
So that will be at the end of March.
Is that $15,000?
What?
Yeah, it's 3 days, 15,000.
Let's see. Well, no, it's $4.50 an hour times, say, 6 hours, 7 hours. Okay, times
That's
two and a half days, because one of those is a half day.
All right. So it's 10 grand.
It's 10 grand? No, it's not 10 grand.
No, it will be, because they have travel expense and they got.
He works a block from the goddamn courthouse. Okay.
Slowly. He walks very
Very
slowly.
slowly. No, we walk him back and we push him.
Yeah.
Well, I put them on notice not to pad the bill. And what was really nice is I have 2 lawyers for the price of one. They gave me a Costco deal.
Nice.
And both the lawyers are taped together. That's the other interesting part about it.
You know, when you told them you better not pad the bill, I'm sure they're still shaking in their boots. And unless you get Kathleen to tell them.
Well, I just said, look, I said when we got a $13,000 bill last month, which he lowered to 11. Oh, thank you. I wrote him and I just said, look, we're not made of money. I don't work, and she's heading for retirement, and all the money we've saved for our old age is being eaten up by this goddamn thing. And I don't know if we're going to come out ahead even if we win. So I mean, I really am very disappointed with the way it's going in that respect.
Right.
There are other aspects which I'm not that happy about either, but I can't talk about those. So
Right.
Because they involve people in the trial and so on and so forth.
Did this place, do they have a coupon? And do they validate the parking? Even though you don't have a car, you might as well get the ticket validated. You're paying for it.
You kidding me? Nobody validates parking in New York City. Here's what happens. You go to a parking lot.
Brand, you can validate.
No, but how much do you think? Like, let's say I go to the theater, and I park my car in a garage to go to either the Broadway or movie theater, and I stay there for like 2.5 hours.
$80.
No, but close to it. I mean, somewhere around $40 or $50. Depends on the part of town. And I'm going, this is fucking highway robbery. This is why I don't have a car. Right? I mean, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So that's why I don't have a car. That and the fact that I'm a cheap motherfucker. But that's another,
No, you know what? San Francisco is expensive. I couldn't imagine New York.
It's less expensive than San Francisco, from what I hear.
Crap.
Except the parking. I had a friend in New York, and we were going to go out to lunch. He had to make reservations 24 hours in advance to get his car from the parking lot. Then we went to the lunch, and he couldn't find a parking space. So my ex-wife, and my other friend, we went in and ate while the other guy drove around the block until we were done, and then we went back. That's how bad it is in New York.
Oh no, Alex, remember when my stupid Honda was stolen?
Yes.
Okay, so
I think
I would park, sometimes I park on the fucking sidewalk. Oh. So this day I was parked in between a Beamer and a Porsche. So I worked 3 in the morning.
Wait a minute. You're between a Beamer and a Porsche, and they stole the Honda?
Yes. I go outside, I'm like, holy shit. So I go upstairs, I'm like, babe, wake up. My Honda's gone. And Alex is like, call the city. I call the city. No, it hasn't been towed. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Honda's
Alex goes, use the Acura. I go to work and I'm like, oh shit. I come home. Yeah, it was stolen. It was found 2 days later in China Basin. This was right before Pac Bell Park was being built.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so pissed. I was more pissed over the fact that I had a pack of 40 CDs in my little CD binder thing. I didn't care about the car or the rims or whatever. I was more pissed over my music being stolen.
And they stole that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can steal my car, but don't steal my fucking music, god damn it.
Bastards.
Bastards. Oh, geez almighty. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes Jeff Stein. Jeff will go into the number 4 slot here as he joins us. Let me see here. I have to cancel that and then go back and try him again. Because sometimes it takes a little while before it recognizes it. Yeah, there he is. Stein Zeller. So we then do that, and there's Jeff Stein. Yeah, I think, the thing that's terrible about getting a car stolen is just that you feel so violated.
Totally.
And you go, why me? I'm a poor person. I don't go steal it from a rich person,
Well, it was fully insured, and when they called me and said, yeah, we found it, I knew to bring a screwdriver because I knew they punched the ignition. And I remember sitting in it and putting the screwdriver in the ignition and firing it up and thinking, I won't say, MFers.
Yeah.
Kathleen, is that how you got the car, with the screwdriver and the...
No, but you know what? I'm not stupid. My whole background is law enforcement.
Yeah. So, there.
Yeah.
See,
law enforcement background for 20 years.
No, but she is real law enforcement background.
Yeah.
Believe me, so was I.
No, you were like a rent-a-cop, for Christ's sake.
I was a level 1.
You were a kindergarten cop, for Christ's sake.
Major city in California.
Yeah.
Cal State Hayward, Quantico Marine Base. So I have a lot of federal background, so I knew.
Yeah, but anyway. So,
I was like, mother F.
How many days were you at Quantico?
I was there for 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. And what PD were you on?
I wasn't on any PDs.
Why did they
But
send you?
UPS paid me to go to Quantico and so I could get my federal degree.
So you're a UPS cop?
I was UPS with the federal background because we're worldwide.
Yeah, she did a lot of investigations.
So all I ever worked with were the
yeah.
feds. Once in a while we worked with OPD, but for the most part it was ATF. It was FDA.
Oh, because they shared.
And it was MIC.
It was ATF.
And it was MICKEY too, as well.
Totally, yeah. Many a times I strip searched Alex.
Yes, she
Naughty
did.
bad boy.
And much to her disdain, she found nothing.
Cuff them?
No.
All the time.
I got to tell you something. It came to mind tonight. We were watching an old Shark Tank, and they had this these guys who were trying to sell this bag that you can have that has a lock on it so somebody can't steal it from you, and it also was knife proof. You could try and slice it with a knife and it wouldn't open up. And the reason for that is they say that there are people who go around and slash bags and then steal the stuff that falls out. Well,
The Ginsu of bags?
You came to mind. And the reason you came to mind was we were in Barcelona, remember? And in Barcelona, I told her, I said, you don't carry a purse. I'm told that there's so many purse snatchers in Barcelona. Yep. It's like a rite of passage to get your purse snatched there. But
Ramble, they cut your pockets.
Wait a minute. She took her purse with her anyway. And we're walking down the street. And sure enough, somebody comes along, grabs her purse. Tell them what happened next, Kathleen.
Man, I sprinted and took them down.
Yep. And this is somebody who's just a phone number, I think. Let me see who this is. Hold on a second. Hello, are you there? No, they're not there.
Anybody's there. I don't see them popping up on the screen.
Right. It's somebody who calls 808 number. That's Hawaii again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's probably James Lee.
James, if you're listening, what's the answer here? It's like his phone number's coming up, but he's not coming up, so I have no idea. James, if you're going to call, don't use one of the old connections that you made. Make it a fresh connection. Just dial GabNet Live with your Skype. directly. Okay. Anyway, where were we? Oh, so
by the time I caught up with this person, the Barcelona police had surrounded them, and they didn't know whether to be horrified or fascinated with the fact that I was able to catch up with these folks.
Yeah, yeah. And she, what happened was you got your purse back.
I was getting ready. I was back and launched.
Yeah, you were almost very close to the guy.
The cops came in and they were like, no, because I'm sure they thought that I was gonna, and I would have taken someone out.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeff laughs.
Well, no, but here's the thing. What she did is she chased the guy, and she got very close to him. I think she could have probably at one point jumped him, right?
Yep.
But what he did was he dropped the purse.
Yes.
Which your natural instinct is, fuck it, I'm not going to chase him any further. I want my purse back. And by then he had gotten all the money that was in it.
No.
He didn't?
I lost nothing. By that time, the Barcelona police had come around him and he dropped it and they took him.
Oh, did they take him? Oh, okay.
They took him.
And they took the money.
Nope. I lost nothing.
Really? Oh, cool.
Yes.
I thought he had taken the money.
You know
out
what?
of it.
I have never carried a purse. It was a fanny pack.
What was? And how did he get the fanny pack off of you?
They must have sliced it.
What he did is he stole the fanny pack, but he ran away with her fanny. So it was, he came out.
Because I've never carried a purse. Never, ever.
Yeah. So anyway, what brought us to? Oh yeah, I was just bringing that up. That I remembered you chasing this guy like I never saw. I can't run that fast. Even when I was that young, I couldn't run that fast.
Yep.
And I mean, you didn't take a beat. This person stole it, and you were off chasing them.
I was off chasing them.
Yeah.
You know, tonight or yesterday, I made my 90 days at Costco, and so I'm talking with my manager. My manager. I said, you know what? I'm sure I was probably the oldest new hire. And he goes, you're the oldest new hire we've had. I don't know how long. But he goes, you scare the shit out of us. Because, like, one day I'm in the meat department because what's happening is I'm working 6 days a week because they let all these kids go. I mean, all these kids nowadays have no work ethic. So I'm in the meat department and I'm with the supervisor and she goes, okay, we need 2 on this pallet. And I grab 2 boxes. So it's over 80 pounds. And I put them down and she goes, what are you, Hercules? And I go, no, I think I would be more like She-Ra or Xena or something like that.
You know, I always liked short, kind of Zoftig brunettes. Okay, a very Jewish origin and dark complected. Okay, that was my type. Then she comes along, and everybody's going, "What are you doing with her?" I said, "I don't know. I guess I suddenly like Amazons. I don't know. You know." I mean, but you
know what? You never had to worry about anything. But you know what? You were always a gentleman.
Well, of course, that's what my father taught me to be.
Thank you.
Want to get beat up?
What?
You didn't want to get beat up.
Well,
no, he was never that way.
Yeah. But anyway,
he's the absolute opposite.
So you
non-confrontational.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I try to not as opposed to my reputation.
Whatever.
Anyway, let me turn the sound down a second. Getting a little slap back. Haven't gotten it that much lately. Anyway, can I tell you all something I'm really ashamed about? An old person moment that I had. Remember yesterday I was talking about the fact that I lost my Metro card. So what's the first thing you do when you lose your Metro card? That's the subway card.
Right.
You immediately report it so they can cancel it being used and send you a new one, which will take them upwards to 3 weeks. Okay, so I'm 3 weeks without a Metro card. And I looked everywhere. I mean, I looked in every pants pocket. I looked completely through the wallet. Couldn't find it anywhere. Tonight I'm looking through the wallet again, and I pull out all these things I've got, like my Social Security, my Medicare card, and my what do you call it, card for my insurance cards and all that stuff. And a couple of weeks ago, to kind of have an insurance card with me because they hadn't sent them out yet, I went online and got one that I could cut out and put it in, and I folded it up and whatever, and I put it in there. I'm going through all this. I can't find the Metro card. Then I look at this folded over thing, right? This folded over card. And somehow the Metro card wound up in between there. So I found my Metro card, but there's no way you can then go back online and go, whoa, I found it, so I'm without a card for about 3 weeks. So I'll be using my my watch because all the subways now take Apple Pay.
Nice.
Yeah, and hopefully they also will take it with my senior discount eventually. I won't do it now, but
Hey, but you know what? At least you found it. You didn't lose it.
So, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't talked to you in a couple of days.
I've been training new umpires.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're auditioning the new umpires and training them, and
I'm actually training them. They already passed the audition.
Oh, okay. So, so you've been busy with that. Have you had time to watch the proceedings in Washington D.C.?
Nope.
No. I haven't either because I've got cancer.
That movie, Charlie, The Umpire Strikes Back.
Oh, I didn't mention to you guys.
Empire Strikes Back.
Guess who's finally
Sometimes
going?
you have
Guess
to.
who's finally going for his radiology tomorrow?
You.
Me, of course. You win. You win. Okay. All right. You win the grand prize, which I don't know what that is or isn't.
Thank you.
Let me see here. We've been joined by Ray Renati. Let me give him a slot here. Let me see here. Ray. Oh, Goomba. There he is.
Yeah, there
okay.
he is.
I got him. Okay.
Hello.
Oops. And unfortunately, I have him doubled over here, so let me get rid of him once. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's good. I got rid of him on number 5. Okay, so in case somebody calls, I can put him in number 5. Where were we? I was.
Okay,
I win. I won.
Getting radiation.
I'm getting the radiation. Tomorrow's my first session. Finally. So tonight I get to take the milk of magnesia again, and then tomorrow morning I get to give myself an enema, a fleet enema. This is a great way to wake up in the morning. There's nothing better than to wake up in the first thing in the morning, take a nice, fresh, refreshing fleet enema.
Yeah, but you know what? You'd rather have an enema than be dead.
Well, I don't know. At this point,
Oh, come on.
I would like to know if I did nothing about this. What are my odds that I'd live, another 5-7 years? Which is about my life expectancy anyway. Well, if I'm not dead by then, my mind is going to be completely gone.
No, it won't. You don't drink.
You got a point there.
Thank you.
By the way, I have put up a new episode. What happened to Ray Renati? We lost him?
He's
now
right there.
No, he's frozen.
He's frozen.
Oh, crap.
There we go. Here he comes. Are you there, Ray?
Yeah, Skype just crashed.
Oh,
Shut
okay.
down.
Oh, that's the Skype gods. No,
Yeah.
So I have it tomorrow. But what was I going to say? Now I forgot.
You were talking if you never got anything, what?
Yeah, I mean, how long would I? The doctor might say nothing might happen. So who knows? Who knows how long you live? But if I live another 10 years, I won't remember anything anyway. So
Yeah, you will because you don't drink.
No, but the not drinking is not my problem. My problem is now they've got me on enough medicine that I'm starting to lose all knowledge of everything. Look at me with my Metro card yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh, really?
Yeah, that's a senior moment.
No,
What?
it's not. You know how many people misplace their ATM cards and any other card?
Yeah, Well,
I have one right here. I don't even know what it's for or what bank or anything, and there's like no name on it.
There's no name.
I don't know how to figure. I mean,
there's no name of the bank on there.
No, so you can find it out from the number, and it's a bank I don't even recognize.
It's Bank of the Unknown.
I think it's the Cash.com app or something.
So they planted a credit card on you. They do that. Those are Russians, and they're polluting.
I thought it was Ukrainians.
Yeah.
No?
They're all.
They're all in bed.
So anyway, Charlie, you haven't been able to watch the proceedings in Washington D.C.
No, I haven't.
Poor guy.
And you didn't watch them at all, did you, Kathleen?
Oh yeah, I did, except I had my Nerf gun and I was shooting at everybody.
No, I think you like. It's great doing a suction. I used to do that. I had one of those with the suction cup, and I would shoot it at my TV set at somebody I didn't like.
Yes.
Nothing like getting Mitch McConnell in the forehead.
Totally.
You know.
I've been watching them.
Yeah. And
it's just a repeat of the same stuff over and over.
Oh well, this is a rerun season, don't you know?
Yes. Yeah. It's like everybody gets up there and just says the same thing as the guy before him or the gal before him.
Yeah.
And it goes on for days.
Well, depending whose side they're on.
Yeah, one side says one thing, the other side says the other thing, and they just go and repeat it.
Yeah.
Saying they're asking questions.
But they're asking questions.
And I can't take them seriously. I see Buttigieg and I see Elf on the Shelf. I see Sanders and I see Larry David. I see Warren. I see Kate McKinnon. I mean, I'm having a really hard time with this.
You've been watching too much Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Larry David does a great Bernie.
They have one guy playing. They have one guy playing Mitch McConnell. I can't remember who. It just looks just like him.
Totally.
Even the mouth. What?
It's a poor guy. Looks like Mitch McConnell.
No, but they made him up to look just like Mitch McConnell. It was amazing.
Yes.
So much so that I wanted to, shoot him with a suction cup dart.
It's like Kate McKinnon playing Giuliani. She's my hero.
Oh God, I love that. She's like,
you don't.
Here comes James Lee.
Like a praying mantis.
Yeah.
There we go. Here comes James Lee. All right. Okay. Let me see here. Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. James Lee. Where are we? Where are you, James? Let me see here.
I copy your audio.
What'd you say?
I copy your audio, sir.
You copy my audio. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me do this again.
When I tried calling on the phone, it just kept ringing and ringing.
Well, yeah, but the phone, you tried to use your phone? Is that what happened?
That's right, yeah. I guess track phone doesn't go in New York.
I guess not. Let me see here.
But I got Mr. Bishop on his show with my phone.
Oh, Pepe, what is your name on Skype? Pepe Keo, right?
Oh, that's the town, Pepacao.
Pepacao. Okay, well,
yeah.
it's all right.
It's where the Peace Corps people train.
Okay, let me see here. Hold on a second. I got 3, and let me see here. Let me do that. Wait a minute. What the hell? I tried to push something, and it Pepacao. Where is it? There it is. All right. So there we got that, and then I got to go over to my 8-pack because I've got. Let me see here.
Pull your shirt up.
Kevin.
We'll see your 8.
Kevin, Hog Rider. Okay, there we go. All right, there's Hog Rider. Is it? Come on, I just said Hog Rider. Come on, do it. Oh, there. Oh, I got to turn that on, and now I can do that. Okay, there they all are. You see, there's he's not outside right now. Is it raining in Hawaii or is something like that?
No, it's a little humid, but the roaches are flying. With the termites, of course, paradise.
James, I have a question.
And also the rats are coming in, so we got to put all the poison out.
Have you had any contact with Renee Collins?
Negative. She's on the other side of the island, at least 2 hours away. And I really don't get over to Kona maybe once every 6 months when I go to Costco. That's about it.
Oh. She didn't reach out to, I
have no way of reaching her anyway. There's only 200,000 of us on this rock, but it's hard finding people.
I wrote her a couple of days ago, but I've never heard back from her. So
Yeah.
Aren't you on
Anyway,
the
sorry
Facebook?
the phone didn't work, and I had a linguinal hernia 3 months ago, so it's not that bad.
Oh, okay. So I mean, were you operated on?
Yeah, my intestines was pushing out. The peritoneal wall had gotten weakened, so it pushed out below the belly button.
Below
I
the
had a
belly
protrusion
button.
of about an inch and a half. So basically, it was a 2-inch incision opening me up and shoving it. I had also an instant liposuction since a bunch of fat globules came out, so they just chopped that out.
I have that thing, and they told me just to leave it. So like if I do a sit up, it pops out.
Yeah, well,
like,
I have a hernia. I have a,
and it like sticks out. Like that.
Mine's a fairly large one, but it doesn't hurt. And they say if it doesn't hurt, they don't do anything about it.
Oh, okay, that's why they.
Yeah, they got to be careful because there's some big blood vessels down there by your groin.
Yeah,
You don't wanna rupture those suckers. You bleed out.
I know. And if I get any real massive pains, I should go to a hospital immediately. But
Exactly, because they don't want the intestines to tie out
yeah,
and atrophy.
yeah. Well,
But the recovery is pretty quick. It's you're a little sore for a couple of weeks. You have quite a bit of swelling in your groin, black and blue groins. But other than that,
I always
you wear
have-
a jock strap and a supporter and tight underwear to hold yourself together for about a month. Then you'll be good to go.
oh, that's
Swelling
great.
will go down.
That's great.
There's a lot of fluids that leak. so that's
Listen,
why you have swelling
I'm
in the groin.
I'm dealing with cancer right now. I don't even want to hear about my hernia. Okay, So I mean, I've got this bulge there down there, but it doesn't hurt me. So what the hell? I'll just let it continue to bulge. I wear my intestines on the outside. Anyway, where was I? There was some. Oh, let me see here. There's something else. Do I have something else? No, just I got to do my radiation tomorrow. So
I just sent Renee a message.
but so did I days ago.
Where
You're
the
not
heck
going to
are
hear
you?
from her.
We're worried about you.
Yeah. But I mean, we haven't heard from her since a year ago, New Year's.
Yeah.
Is she off island?
Christmas, yeah.
Who knows? She may have, for all we know, she may have just decided to disappear. And sometimes I worry about it when I don't hear from people, because we don't. They could literally drop dead and we wouldn't know.
Right.
Somebody would not think to call us, so it's kind of.
It's when Mike over on Jack's show went to the hospital for months and nobody knew where he was.
Well, that son of a bitch should have called and told somebody he was okay.
I know. I actually called his sister-in-law.
Yeah, and she didn't know.
She didn't have any idea.
Yeah, he wound up in the hospital, but he didn't call anybody to say, "Hey, I'm in the hospital. Don't worry about me."
Right.
So
He did. Yeah.
anyway, so that's whatever. So yeah. So let me see here. So and Kevin, good evening to Kevin.
Go Niners.
Love that shirt.
Go Niners. Yeah.
Oh, I got to get my Niners.
By the way, can I'm going to bring something up here. Am I wrong to not give a shit about Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, I was listening to that earlier. Well, I mean, I just think he's just, he's a well-known icon who tried to, who raped a woman and tried to, and has been paying for it ever since, and has done the best he could to redeem himself, and has done a lot of good ever since.
Do you remember
Doesn't mean he's better than anyone else. He's just well known.
Do you remember what his biggest act of redemption was in that whole rape case?
The wedding ring.
The wedding ring his wife got, which she was going
Yeah,
around like this all the time, going, "See."
Yeah, I remember that. Well, that's how he kept her.
Yeah.
But he's been helping kids.
What
ever since,
happened? Well, that's fine, and that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
no, I think it's great.
But let me do something here. And this is what when somebody like this dies. Come on, to begin with, he's a sports figure. Yeah, but how's he more important than a lot of other people? How's he more important than some I just think we have our priorities all wrong. All of a sudden, this guy who a few years ago was tried for rape, actually. And then
quite a long time ago.
Yeah, but then it changes his life and he gets better, and he somehow nobody suspended him from the team over it, and he was good to go, right?
Yeah.
And I think he was found not guilty, or the charges were dropped.
She dropped everything. I don't know why.
Well,
They probably paid her on the side.
Ka-ching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a story. Here are two stories that bother me. An AP reporter has been put on administrative leave after she tweeted a link to a story about rape allegations against Bryant from 2003. Dozens of journalists, by the way, have reportedly criticized the decision. Here is a reporter. She's doing her job. She does a tweet. She does a link to a story that is real. It's not a phony story about the 2003 rape trial. All right? And she gets put on leave. She's summarily dropped. And she received supposedly an email from the executive editor at AP saying, "A real lack of judgment to tweet this. Please stop. You're hurting the institution by doing this." Well, wait a minute. The institution is a news institution. How are you ruining a news institution by doing your job of reporting? Now, if that wasn't... What? Yeah.
And I don't understand why... I'm so confused as to why some people will be chastised if they do something like that forever, and then some other people will be forgiven forever. And I don't understand... Is it because he has a nice smile and is good looking and tall? I mean, what is it? It doesn't make any sense to me.
You know what? My thing is, what does it matter? He's dead.
Yeah.
He's fucking dead.
Well, no, but I think about his family and the other families.
My thing was, Kobe Bryant, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? There were 7 other victims. So not only did I feel bad for Kobe's wife, but I felt awful for all the families of the victims. Not only Kobe and his daughter, there were seven other people that died.
Three of which were teenagers.
Yes.
Anderson Cooper did quite a long interview of a guy whose wife died on the helicopter this morning. So that was pretty cool.
That.
What did he?
Yeah, that was very
that was
touching.
attached to his GoFundMe thing.
You know, it wasn't only Kobe, but there were other folks.
Wait, tell me about it, Kevin. Tell me about the Anderson Cooper interview.
Oh, actually Ray posted it, and I followed that post.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
the GoFundMe.
Yeah, it was a GoFundMe thing.
Yeah.
Because, it was a regular family.
And the guy was just a musician. He didn't make any money. His wife made all the money. Yeah. And he's got kids, and she was like a basketball coach.
It's the thing is that Kobe was... The reason that it got so much attention is because he was a basketball player, but he was a good basketball player, and that was the main thing.
If he was a bad basketball player...
He was a good basketball player.
Great.
And, the rest of it was just followed along, and people idolized him for his basketball. Well, the rest of the crap is, what it is.
Here's another story. ABC suspended one of its correspondents after he reported on the air that it was believed that all 4 of Kobe Bryant's daughters were in the helicopter that crashed on Sunday. Bryant and one of his daughters died, as we all know. And then there were 3 other kids who were killed in that crash. This guy, Matt Gutman, has won many awards, including major journalism awards for his work on the 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas and the 2018 rescue mission of 12 boys and their soccer coach from a flooded cave in Thailand. This guy is not what you would call a piker when it comes to reporting. So he makes a mistake, in the heat of in the fog of war, so to speak. He makes a mistake. Wait a minute.
Excuse me, Mr. Bennett. I'm going to back out now. It's getting a little dark over here. So aloha to all you folks on the mainland.
Well, thank you very much. Care. Good talking to you again. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. See you later.
But what happens, Alex, and I saw this when the story was breaking because I didn't see it on on TV, but I was listening to it on the radio. And when you hear stuff when it first breaks, and with social media, all kinds of shit just comes flying, and everybody wants to get it out first, and they grab anything they see. And there was stuff flying out. There was European helicopter videos going, and people were saying that he auto-rotated, and there was just all kinds of shit. And I heard, between the time I left my house going to my grandkids' house in Fresno, 2.5 hours on the road, I heard 5 different stories of what happened. By the time I got to Fresno, I'm going, I didn't even know what happened. There could have been a busload of people that died. And I said, you know what? You just got to let the dust settle, because so many people get so many stories wrong.
Well, there's one guy, I can't remember his name now, who was reported as having died in the crash, who wasn't even on the helicopter.
Yeah, it was Fox. They thought Andrew, I think it was Andrew Fox, one of the players, was with him. And I'm going, that's the first thing I told my kid, because he was a heavy-duty, growing up Kobe fan. And I said, I think it was Andrew Fox, was it? And I said, was he with him? And he said, no, that was all bullshit. And I go, well, that's all I've been hearing all the way over here. These kinds of stories. I said, it's just because everybody wants to get the story out first, and they just start flailing their mouths with whatever they can find.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that happens with all stories nowadays.
Well,
nobody waits for the good shit, the real stuff to happen.
Supposedly, he said that his mother called him to make sure he wasn't dead.
Right.
I mean, come on. Yes, Ray had his hand up.
I just wanted to say that my uncle's been a private pilot since he was 20. He's like 80 years old, 80 something. And he's always told me almost all the small plane and helicopter crashes and all this are because people are in a hurry and they fly in bad weather when they shouldn't.
That's exactly what happened here.
It's like 80 to 90% of them, and that's exactly what happened here.
Well, let's say for a moment,
clearance to fly in the fog when probably
it doesn't matter. You still, I mean, they'll give it. It's a lot of. I think even the police helicopters grounded themselves because.
Yeah, the pilot makes the last decision. He can fly if he wants, but he makes the decision. And when you got pressure of, Kobe Bryant wants to get somewhere.
Okay. So let's say for a moment, we find out.
Can't.
Let's say we find out that Kobe Bryant, all right, was urging this guy to fly. Okay,
it's on him.
because he wanted to get to work or wherever he was going.
You'll never find out because everyone's dead.
Well, what I'm saying, if that was the case, how good a guy is Kobe Bryant? When he's
we will never know.
He could very well have been responsible for the death of these
I have a lot
people.
of close friends that are NTSB.
No, but you won't know if. What do you mean?
Oh yes.
No, but I mean, if everybody on the helicopter's dead. Oh, you mean? If he
No.
was telling the flight, the tower that he wanted.
You know what? This pilot, apparently, he was very well versed, but you know what? He got special clearance. Everybody else was grounded, but probably because a certain someone was on the flight, he got special clearance to fly in that fog.
I thought that they will always
He doesn't
give you
need
clearance.
special clearance.
No, he
can
doesn't.
decide to go.
That's right.
Oh, he got special clearance.
No, that's not how it works.
No,
that's not how it works.
No, it works. It's called special visual flight rules.
Right.
And he can decide. You can decide to go up when it's a quarter-mile visibility if you want.
They can recommend that you don't, but they can't tell you. But they can't tell you that you can't fly. That you can fly whenever you want.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? If the guy went up and he knew not to,
then that's on him.
Exactly.
And
then he buckled under the pressure.
What Alex is getting at is the fact that if Kobe was saying, we gotta go, I want you to go, and he's saying, okay, well, I guess
you're the boss.
That's still on the pilot.
It
the
doesn't
pilot
matter.
should turn around
They're all
and say,
dead,
sorry,
so who cares?
I won't go. Yeah, the
Well,
pilot should be saying, I'm not going.
Yeah.
But we'll just never know for sure.
No.
There's no black boxes on helicopters.
Nope.
Yeah, unless the pilot walked over to his buddy in the hangar and said, Kobe wants me to go. I gotta go.
Yeah.
But that's the only way you'll ever know.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's Phil doing besides being bored about us talking about sports?
Yeah.
Dusting. Okay, he's not.
Yeah. Do you know what we were talking about?
Loading my magazines for Sunday's shoot.
Oh, jeez.
While I'm doing a show, you're loading your guns.
I couldn't get a word in edgewise earlier anyway, so I just figured, all right.
What do you mean you couldn't get a word in? When have you ever been intimidated by that, Phil?
Intimidated? I just gave up.
Well, what did you want to say?
Nothing. Now.
Don't ask him that.
Pilot on the news, they said that he wasn't instrument certified. So now, I don't remember what channel it was, but it was, TV news.
Yeah.
But they said he wasn't instrument certified. But, there's been so much
exactly
around this and so much fake stuff.
Yeah.
And jumping to conclusions that, nothing's true. You gotta believe half of what you see, maybe none of that, and none of what you hear.
What if it was a car accident? People just get in accidents and die all the time.
And that's what this was. It was an accident. As far as I know, he hit the hillside at 180 miles an hour.
Yeah, and he just missed it by 20 feet, they said.
Well, hey, this,
it's not like horseshoes and
horseshoes and
hand grenades.
Hand grenades.
Horseshoes and hand grenades. Close only counts in horseshoes and bocce ball.
Yeah.
Wow.
And wing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm just I'm not a big sports fan, so it just doesn't but it does gall me a little bit that some people are losing jobs because they were simply under the pressure to report the story.
That's ridiculous.
And what we do is we pressure these guys to get the story in. And the fact of the matter is that in the end, they will make mistakes because they're doing it too fast. They're trying to get the scoop for their people.
Yep.
Tasteful is it to report a 20-some-odd-year-old story? That the guy has paid the price. And he's dead at the moment. I mean, you always talk to me about...
No, but Phil, if you're doing a story, if you're going to write the history of this guy, and you're going to tell the story of the history of this guy, that is part of his history.
Well, I understand, but there's a time and a place. And
what do you mean there's a time and a place?
Not when you're a journalist.
Not when you're a journalist, Phil. This was a story... And they were, and all the person did in one case was simply link to a story about it. He didn't even write what the story was about. I mean, he may have said he had criminal charges way back when or whatever, and then there was a link to that. Okay? So it wasn't even that he wrote it in the article.
Well, my claim to fame is I sat behind his wife, one row behind his wife on a plane after she got that ring. He wasn't there, but the wife was there.
Yeah.
Vanessa, I think her name is. And I could see the ring through the seats.
Yeah, but all I'm saying, well, who could miss it? That thing was using to flag in planes from other places. But the thing that I'm saying is that certainly the desire of the reporter was to write a complete story about this guy. And not to necessarily, it wasn't her job. I think it was a female. Wasn't her job to wax poetic about the guy just because he had just died. If you're saying here's the story of this guy, I mean, if we do the book on the history of Kobe Bryant, aren't we going to write in that book about the rape trial?
Yeah, you would have to.
Yeah.
But the thing that bothers me, too, is whether or not you think it's in bad taste for her to post this tweet or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. It's just indicative of our culture now where people, you do one little thing that people don't like and then, okay, you're fired. especially when you're a journalist. It's just so typical. What's going on?
I mean, if this were some kind of egregious thing the person had done, something that endangered the public welfare, as an example, then okay.
You know what, Alex? Thank God I wore a ring when we were in Europe, so the Europeans couldn't say anything bad about you.
What? Say that again?
When we were in Europe, thank God I wore a ring so that they couldn't say anything bad about you.
Well, there was another reason. There was another reason you wore the ring. We were told by our travel agent that if they put ahead that we were having our honeymoon and that things would just be better for us, so wear a phony wedding ring. And that's exactly what we did. And we would go to a place like in Zermatt.
Everywhere.
They upgraded us to a better room and put chocolates in the room. Happy wedding, to you young married couple. And we did that all over Europe. And
for everybody else.
We always got upgraded, or a bottle of champagne in the room or something, so.
Hey, they unsuspended the reporter who got suspended that you were just talking about.
Oh, really? Because I think
they redacted it. She's no longer suspended. It just happened.
Well, probably because enough people were pissed about that story.
Yeah.
It's true.
Jeff, what do you think of Kobe Bryant? I just thought I'd ask Jeff because he hasn't said a word all night.
He's frozen.
Muted.
Oh, he's there. He's there. He's muted.
I know who he is. He's a good basketball player. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I don't remember shit about him.
Oh, okay.
And I really don't, it's not that important to me.
Well, when they first said to me Kobe Bryant was dead, I had to remember who Kobe Bryant was, And
I knew he was a basketball player.
Yeah, he was a basketball player. Ta-da,
For me, I felt bad about everybody on the helicopter, but he was the face of the people on the helicopter to me because I knew him. And if it was just him, I would have been, oh, that's sad. But he represented everyone to me who died on there.
I have to stand
all
up.
The families.
I have to stand up because my foot fell asleep.
He was like the face of it for me.
Well, yeah, and plus the fact that he was a father to his daughter, and his daughter died. That hit me hard.
Yeah,
that bothered me a great deal. It bothered me the kids who died in that helicopter.
Yeah, the kids
crash.
are the worst part. Yeah,
especially if they were doing if anybody was forcing the thing to go up.
Yeah,
but you know what? I feel sorry for the families that are left behind, like Kobe's wife
and his other kids.
Absolutely.
And all the other kids and families of the other people.
Yes.
Yeah, you see that interview with
Shaquille?
With
I mean, all these people were losing.
Part of the problem was they hit the hill, okay, and that of course is deadly for a helicopter. But I had a friend who flew helicopters, and I went up with him once, and I said, "What if you lose power?" And we were in Topeka, Kansas, where the land was just flat. He said, "You just you don't crash. You fall to the ground because the propeller, the rotor, keeps going."
It's if you lose the rotor, that's good.
If you lose the back rotor, that thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Destabilizes it.
Yeah.
One time I went to an air show, and this Navy helicopter went way up high, turned off all the power, and did a nosedive. And the momentum of the helicopter turned the propeller.
Yeah.
And then it just landed, boop, with no.
I'll tell you though, this friend of mine who had learned how to run helicopters and would go out and rent them and so on and so forth. When we were flying, he said the only horrible thing about flying a helicopter is that you can't ever relax for one moment. You always have to have your hand on the stick. And you have to be maintaining it because you don't keep your hand on the stick and you're in trouble, So they're not all that stable. They're fun, but they're not all that stable.
I had a recurring dream that I was in a helicopter, but I was in San Francisco flying under the bus cables. You know how they have those overhead cables. Yeah, like
Muni.
Muni cable. And in
Yeah.
some areas, there might be 40 of them converging on a corner. And I've had this reoccurring dream about being in a helicopter and flying down the street under those things. But I don't know if that comes from the Bill Graham thing where he hit a high tension line.
Yeah, he hit a high tension line. Yeah. I'll tell you though, this friend of mine who had the helicopter, and this was in Topeka, Kansas. He said, "I want to show you something." He took me out and we went over all this flat land, and then he landed in front of this fence. And he said, "I want to show you something I think you're really, really going to enjoy." And he takes the helicopter, and it's like he's hopping the fence. He takes the helicopter up, hops the fence. We get out of the helicopter, and he takes me down. And what does he take me down into? But a missile silo.
Wow.
That has been vacated by the government and leased out to this guy who's like building stuff in the silo.
Underneath.
And the silo's there, and it was really cool. It was really, really cool. And he had literally made a home for himself in this silo.
Wow.
And a place to build. I can't remember what it was he built, but some wooden things or whatever. And he was doing them all in this silo. And there are a lot of silos that are empty in that part of the country, and they just they never fill them in or anything like that. So anyway,
I saw one in Queens
a missile silo
years ago, but I don't think anybody's using it.
Wait a minute, there was a missile silo in Queens?
Yes, there was.
No, really?
Yeah.
There's like one that sold in Arizona, and then there's two more that are for sale.
Well, I mean, in Queens? I know there's a lemon ice of Corona in Queens, but I didn't know there were any missile silos. Huh?
More than 50 years ago, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
About Tony's house?
It may be Tony's house now, for all we know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so today I was watching, and they were doing the question and answer thing, and I'm sitting there with Marjorie, and I'm going, "I have a question. Did you like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?" Or I'm sorry.
When are we going to get on our pizza?
Yeah, or you have to put that in the form of a question. I mean, I'm just thinking it's like the world's biggest game show. What, Phil?
Watching Jeopardy?
Yeah, it's like Jeopardy. Yeah, and it's just, and then all the Democrats ask the congressional people questions that are leading questions that they have to answer, and the same thing goes for the Republicans who are asking the attorneys leading questions. Rather than doing the opposite, having like a Republican ask the Democrats a question, which would be interesting, or then you get what I'm saying. In other words, it was always they were
setting them up. Yeah,
they were setting up the people to answer questions that they want to hear the answers to. I mean, this
guy Philbin let somebody have it. It was he answered a Democratic question, and Philbin was somebody that was representing. Is he a Republican senator, or was he one of the attorneys?
Well, he had to be one of the attorneys.
No, it wasn't Regis.
I think he's the attorney, isn't he?
Regis Philbin?
White House attorney.
There was a back and forth based on a question, and I believe the question was asked by Feinstein and two other people.
He's a Republican.
Yeah, but I thought the question was asked by a Democrat to this guy Philbin.
Really? I didn't see that. I've just found the whole thing terribly boring.
Oh, yeah.
And I know it sounds terrible for me to say that because I should be, I'm interested in all that. But, and I know what side I'm rooting for. I don't need to sit there and be told by MSNBC everything I already know, and be coddled to by, pick your network and, yes, Jeff.
I tried to listen to it today. It was so terrible.
Yeah.
The whole way it's set up, where you write a note on a piece of paper, and then all of a sudden they say, well, Senator so-and-so wants you ought to take a look at this. And then he passes it to this person.
So John Roberts.
This person gives it to this one, and then this lady gives it to the guy, and he's the
moderator. He's like the MC of the game show.
and he reads it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like 1955 or something.
Right, and
What in color?
you think?
And you know what I like? Well, here's
He'd say something, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't say
Here's the
anything.
thing that really gets me is they constantly bring up, well, this never happened in other impeachments. Well, I've got news for you. Wait a minute, I got news for you. There were only really 2 other impeachments, and one of them was happening in the 1800s, for Christ's sake. You know.
There was no TV then.
Yes, Phil.
No, there might be some drawings.
Yeah. Phil, you have your hand up.
Did you hear the question that Romney and McCaskill and one other left-leaning Republican asked? What he asked was
By the way, Phil, you're wrong. They're not left-leaning. They're just not as right-leaning as the rest of them. They're more moderate Republicans. Okay.
Question that sort of made it sound like they weren't going to vote for additional witnesses. He asked if there was like 3 different things that were going on, that there was the investigation of corruption, but there was also the question of Trump wanting to know about other European countries participating in the aid, and one other factor. And they basically said that you cannot find a reason to impeach because this situation had so many different facets to it. And it was a very interesting question. It was also interesting that it came from the left-leaning.
They're not left-leaning, Phil.
Okay,
listen. I've never heard Mitt Romney referred to as a leftist in my life. Okay.
In today's Trump world,
in today's Trump world, anybody who doesn't agree with Trump is a leftist and fabricating facts. You know. Yeah. You agree with that assessment, I see. Okay. But I mean, don't refer to Romney as a left winger. I object to that personally.
The bottom line is the question was a very telling question, and it may telegraph what's going to happen on Friday.
Who knows what's going to happen on Friday? I'm sure the fix is in, and I'm sure we're not going to get any real answers. And I can't believe that even you wouldn't like to hear some witnesses called in what is called a trial. So that
I would. Hunter Biden, Adam Schiff, and the whistleblower.
And no one else.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you. Maybe you.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, I don't know what Hunter Biden has to do with this, to be honest with you.
Nothing.
You know.
We want our tax money back.
Well, no, but what tax money
There's
back?
no tax money.
Hunter Biden didn't cost you. Hunter Biden didn't cost you a penny.
No, yeah, he didn't. Did he pay tax on that money?
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did, Phil. I'm sure he did.
But it has nothing to do with.
Do you know that he didn't?
Yeah.
You do. Oh, okay. Then you know something that nobody else knows. Now, I'm sure he paid taxes. If he declared it as American income, now it may have been income in another country, and therefore he may have had to pay taxes to that country. But somewhere along the line, he paid taxes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? And then we can move on.
Yeah, you're gonna move on anyway. You know. Jeff with his hand.
Yes, Jeff.
Can I change the discussion just a little bit?
Sure. Go right ahead, please.
Not at all.
Yeah. So anyway, my wife and I are watching TV,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, we're seeing these dopey ads about a family likes this food or these clothes, or it's some advertisement thing. I don't even know what the advertisement's about. But all of a sudden, they always now, where a lot of advertisements used to be a mother and a child on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Now it's changing. First of all, it's a dad and a daughter. Okay?
All right.
The second one is
Yeah.
the dad is white and the girl
is African American.
I've seen a lot of that happening lately.
Yep.
A lot of blended families in ads. Now, I don't know that I disagree with that, but all the time now, you know.
I thought you were a racist.
Oh, well, I've decided, I've decided to become a racist because I had a guy at Costco the other day say to me, because I tapped his cart, I was a racist.
Oh, I got hit. I was at Costco today and I got hit.
You got hit by what? Another cart?
A racist?
It was an old lady. I was going to go off on her, Alex. I thought of you and I went, oh, I should just tear into her right now. It was an old lady.
Well, did she yell at you or did you?
No, she hit me and I was going to turn around. I was going to start barking at her really bad.
Well, how hard did she hit you?
Oh, she did a pretty good hit.
Well, this guy, I just tapped.
Yeah, it was a cart-to-cart hit. It was a good, left rear fender. Yeah.
That wasn't mine. Mine was I literally just tapped the guy as I was turning the corner. Okay, and he may have stopped short, which is the reason I even tapped him at all. And I couldn't hear him because I had my earphones on and so on. And all of a sudden, I'm hearing him yell at me. You didn't say I'm sorry. And I turn around and say, I turn around and I go back to him. I look right in his face when they, black people don't like that when you go in their face. And I said, pardon me? He says, you're a racist.
Did you tell him you'd get out?
And as I said last night, I'm thinking to myself, let's see, Hitler, the Ku Klux Klan, and me. So I didn't realize that I'm a racist. And then I'm thinking, you're really, what I guess bothered me about it most of all wasn't that he called me a racist, because maybe I am. I don't know. That's for somebody else to determine. But the fact that it was trivializing the racial disparity in this country. All of a sudden, I was a racist because I tapped his cart. And I just don't know if that doesn't minimize the true importance of racism in this country and why it's so terrible,
Can I say that people have been calling people racists, Islamophobes, and every other kind of homophobes, and every other kind of name. If you don't agree, this isn't even rise to that, Phil. This is such a trivial event that you don't make it a racial incident. I'm sorry, But it's not a racial incident. It's just that people have gotten so conditioned.
I believe that Donald Trump is a racist. I have no doubt about it in my mind, and I imagine Charlie would agree with me, right, Charlie?
Yeah. That's
no, Phil.
Phonied up.
Phil, I agree with you. If certain people don't go along with certain things, all of a sudden they're this and that. The commercial. You're talking about commercials. It's like Peloton. Peloton got called to the carpet because all their commercials were these white people. My son and I were talking about this. It shows them on their Peloton, and the place that they live is nothing but windows. And it looks like they're either in New York or wherever they are. They're in some frickin', they're in some freaking pure windowed.
I've been thinking about getting a Peloton.
$2 million house. And so now Peloton has these new commercials where this is this African American guy, and he's singing out of tune, and he's in this teeny tiny little room. And I'm like, you know what, Peloton, you guys are pieces of shit.
Do you know? Do you want to know the thing? You want to know the political correctness that's really bothering me? How many here would agree that Lizzo is a fat piece of shit? Okay. Who's that? Have you ever seen Lizzo?
She's the one who mooned at the basketball game.
She's very fat, and she's a singer. And everybody's going, oh, she's so great, and she has such a great body image. And I'm going, by saying that to her, you're fucking killing her. All right? Because this woman is going to be dead before she's 40 because you're saying, hey, Lizzo, it's okay to be that fat. You know?
Is this Liza Minnelli? I'm kidding. No, Lizzo, I've never heard of her. Not on the West Coast.
Yeah, well.
We know.
No, you're just not. You're not a kid. Is your son around at all?
Yeah, but he doesn't listen to that.
Well, wait a minute. Does he know who Lizzo is? Ask him if he knows who Lizzo is.
Dude, Lizzo.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said, your husband. He's like,
I don't get it.
I have no idea who this person is.
Do you know who Lizzo is, Charlie?
Nope, never heard of him until just now.
How about you, Jeff? Do you know who Lizzo is? How about you, Kevin?
Yeah, I do.
See, he knows who she is, and don't you agree?
I know who she is.
Don't you agree? They should quit coddling her because she's fat, and say.
I think so. Yeah. They're just
they're killing
her up there, putting her up on a pedestal,
and they're killing her.
If there was some morbidly obese guy, they wouldn't say that.
No, but they're killing her. They're literally killing her by not saying, hey, it'd be nice if you lost some weight because then you'd be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor a little longer before you drop dead. But no, she's out there, and all her dancing girls behind her are all fat too.
Yes, I noticed that.
It looks like what it looks like. It looks like the hippopotamus scene in Fantasia.
They had one skinny dancing girl. She was way in the back, and you can hardly see her.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the hippopotamus scene.
Yeah, and the Lizzo fans were feeling sorry for her because somebody should tell her to put on a few pounds. Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna have to Google this.
Google Lizzo moons basketball game.
Oh, great.
She mooned a Lakers game, I think.
Well, that was
the front row. It was really disgusting.
But then I'll have nightmares.
Yeah, you will.
That actually goes beyond mooning. I mean, that's more like crashing a comet into Earth, or something like that.
He scoop her up and throw her out?
Tyson Acosta writes, and this is true, Jillian Michaels took her to task on her weight problem a few weeks ago, and she got death threats.
Offended.
Jillian Michaels did?
Yeah. I remember seeing the story. Everybody was going crazy over Jillian Michaels going, hey, you're fat. Admit it, and do something about it. Don't stay at that weight. It's purely unhealthy. I mean, this woman...
Her and Al Roker went at it too, didn't they?
Holy
maybe,
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, but the thing is that Lizzo, I mean, we're not talking about just fat. Okay?
Well, it's the they're trying to let her accept it is what it is, and that's the same thing with that lady on This Is Us. I guess.
If I had a friend who I liked and I cared about, and they were that fat, I would say you've got to do something about it. Anything I can do to help, any advice I can give you, any diet I can help put you on, or somebody I can send you to, but I don't want to see you dying on my watch. Okay? But nobody's doing that with Lizzo. I think they want to see how much she eats until she explodes.
Well, you know what? It's like the whole thing when you're famous, they just patronize you, and I saw that.
Yeah. Well, it's I tell you, you know what it's like? It's the same thing when we have a rock star who's got a real drug problem, and everybody continues to enable them and encourage them in their bad behavior. Who was it? There was one singer, and I can't remember her name now, who had an alcohol problem. And she quit booze. She literally quit booze and stopped drinking and went. Huh? No, it wasn't Amy Winehouse. No, it was some. I'm trying to remember who the singer was exactly. And she went out on stage one night and staggered on stage, and everybody started cheering her because she was staggering on stage. And then she stood straight up, looked at the audience, and went, "Gotcha."
Yes.
You know.
Was that Simpson?
No. I'm trying to remember who it was. I'd like to think it was Cher, but it wasn't. It was somebody who had a reputation for having a problem. Okay? And that's many times we have killed rock stars because we have enabled that thing rather than saying, hey, you're getting too high, you're getting too stoned, or I went to your concert and you were so stoned you gave me a bad performance and I just paid $80 to see you. You owe me more than that.
Joe Walsh?
No, but what I'm saying is Stevie Nicks, it might have been Stevie Nicks.
I think it was Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, I think it was Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
And that once she had sobered up completely, and she's been sober for years.
Yeah.
She went on stage.
Her.
Yeah.
I heard her talking about it.
Yeah.
On Fresh Air, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that so what we're doing to her, what we're doing to Lizzo is exactly the same thing you're doing to Stevie Nicks or you're doing to Keith Richards or anybody else who's known for having some kind. Her eating and her weight is substance abuse. Don't tell me you have fat jeans. Don't give me that. You're only wearing fat jeans. You don't have them. And
I just put a picture of her in the chat there.
In the chat, you just put
with the mooning and her yeah. If you don't want to throw up, you don't look.
Well, I don't. Okay. I don't see it on the chat. What chat? The
Skype chat.
Oh, the Skype chat. The Skype chat. I see.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Well, you guys can look at it and you can see Lizzo.
But Keith Richards needs to keep drinking because if he stopped, he would die. I mean,
he hasn't done drugs in years. He's clean. He's clean.
He is? Okay.
He's clean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, come on. If anybody should be dead by now, it's him.
Yeah, I mean, he looks dead.
He's just preserved.
Huh? Yeah. It's turned into a preservative. He should have been dead a long time ago.
That guy has quite a constitution. My grandmother used to say.
I mean, how many Rolling Stones have died so far, and he's still alive? So.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, let's not encourage Lizzo. But if anybody wants to look at the picture, he put it up in the chat portion of your Skype page.
Yeah, if you're interested.
I don't see it. Oh, maybe it's down there.
You have to just show. There's a little chat thing.
Yeah, I know. I see it there, but it didn't.
See the little chat thing. If you bring it up, if you bring up the chat, let me see. Open,
I see it.
What is it? Open conversation.
Yep, I got it open.
Okay, open the conversation. There's no picture there.
No.
Oh, how weird.
Yay.
Usually there, but.
No.
I see updated by Ray Renati is rolled to admin.
Don't nobody hit share screen. Do not hit that.
No.
That's too close to that for my taste.
But anyway, so I'm just saying.
Oh, there's a notification. So
anyway, so if I had any kind of a real audience here and this were a big deal, I would be getting so much heat for what I just said about Lizzo. It'd be ridiculous, And the fact is, you like her music, and she does good music. I like her stuff,
Whoops. Sorry. Shit.
What?
I did a share screen.
Okay. No, you didn't, because we didn't.
Okay, good.
We are not the recipients of that.
Okay, good.
Who drove around in the
there you go. He just brought it up. Now, how do I get rid of it?
Fat?
It's on your thing. Oh, it's on your screen. Okay, put it up again, like you did. How did you do it?
No, it just shows up there for a second, and then it goes to the chat.
No, because I didn't actually send it in the chat. Now I did.
Anyway,
there it is.
Just after the show, if you want to, Google Lizzo and you'll see what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's morbidly obese is what somebody described her, and that's what she is.
Big woman.
Huh?
I'm looking at the picture, and I blew it up full size on my 30-inch screen.
And
she is a big woman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it my desktop photo, I think.
Oh, really? Why is that?
I
think most people should take that picture.
Right on down to that
no, just if you want
Is she
to.
like big woman? Or
I think
baby
Phil, if he
fat
wanted to put
back?
that picture to the best use, he should paint. He should paste. He should scotch tape.
All in one.
Phil should scotch tape that picture of Lizzo to his refrigerator door. That's what he should do.
I'm through some stuff now on with weight and diabetes and so forth.
Yet your diabetes is come back again?
It's pretty bad. So I'm going to try and get on a different drug. Give me this Dexcom thing that lets you know what your sugar is every 5 minutes.
Well, how about just going on a low-carb diet?
I do.
A stringent low-carb diet, Phil.
I find a little bit of carbs somewhere rat-holed in the house.
Because you piss the shit out of me, but nevertheless, I don't want to see you dead because you're my friend, you know? And like Lizzo, I will say, you fat fuck, that you had better do something about that because the diabetes is going to get you before anything else.
I'm working on that with the doctors right now. But hey, you know those baby on board things that you always saw around, people had in their cars because
I hate those things.
Yeah. Those things. I want to see the new baby on board. My friend gave me one. It's please be patient, student driver. You know, that's the new way of begging for mercy. You know?
Yeah. Well,
in France, they're required to have that sign so that people know.
Yeah, England too. They actually are student drivers.
Yeah.
So, in this country, it's just the new baby on board thing.
Oh, I see. It's just an excuse.
When I see that there's a student driver going along, I just honk my horn. Just to intimidate them.
The thing I hated about the baby on board sign is that they never take them down when the baby's not on board. So if the car's rolled over, and you think there's a kid inside, he's not.
Yeah.
It's just like hazardous material placards. You're supposed to take them off when there ain't no hazmat.
Yeah, when there's no hazmat.
It's like when you see a Dukakis for president bumper sticker.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute.
Used to have
these are still fresh.
Hazmat things. That said radio.
Anyone else 2020.
So yeah,
this is still fresh. I'll put this on tomorrow.
Yeah, I had one of those placards that I taped in the back window of my car that said radioactive.
Wow.
And,
anyway, so
remember the 70s? I found it, and now my fingers stink.
Earhart Cinema.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Anyway. Hey, I just looked over. There are a lot of people watching the program tonight. I don't know why. I think we're just having fun, and they like having fun. And, they're so sick of the goddamn impeachment hearings that they were happy to hear us talk about other stuff. Anyway.
I say we all put our questions on cards tomorrow, and we'll ask each other.
Yes.
Good way
Do they have to be impeachment questions, or just
Can I go to the bathroom?
Or submit it to me first, and then I will ask you the question. Anyway, everybody, first of all, there's Phil, and there's Kathleen. Thank you, Kathleen. Good seeing you again tonight. Charlie, great having you here. Jeff, Kevin. And, of course, Ray Renati is here as well. I'd like you all to give a big wave goodbye, and I'll wave back at you, okay? There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. No, you're holding it up too late, Phil. Anyway, let me get rid of... let me get rid of these callers here. And also sign myself off of the Skype, so that the next program, which is Jack Bishop and the Intersection, can have the use of the Skype lines, okay? I'll be back again tomorrow night at, let's see here, what time? 10 o'clock? Yeah, 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, although I'm having my radiation tomorrow, so if I'm too weak to do it, I won't be doing a show, but I'm sure I will be able to do it, okay? In the meantime, stay tuned for Jack. I'll see you tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.